We've all been there. You're rushing to a meeting, checking the time, hoping you're not too late. You slip into the room, trying to be discreet, but people notice. You fumble to get seated, half listening as you pull out your notes, and then inevitably you find yourself apologizing, making excuses, and feeling like you've already started on the back foot. Maybe that was earlier in your career, back when being late meant the meeting had already started without you. Now, with more seniority, maybe as a founder or as an executive, people tend to wait for you. That doesn't make it okay, because here's the thing. Punctuality isn't about avoiding embarrassment. It's about showing that you're in control of your time, your commitments, and ultimately of yourself. I'm going to show you why punctuality is one of the simplest yet most powerful professional habits you can develop. You'll understand why being on time matters more than you think, the hidden costs of chronic lateness, and why on time is actually late. You're going to learn practical techniques to master punctuality with minimal effort and maximum impact. Let's dive in. First off, let's be clear on this. Punctuality isn't just about meetings, it's about commitments. It's about delivering work before deadlines, anticipating future tasks, and staying ahead rather than scrambling at the last minute. Now, many people assume that being a little bit late isn't a big deal. After all, what's 5 minutes here or there? But these delays add up. A late start means rushed decisions or less time to cover important issues. A late submission can cause cascading delays. When it happens repeatedly, it signals something deeper and much worse. It shows a lack of respect. When you're timely, you're showing that you value other people's time, and in return, they respect yours. It makes you look competent, organized, and in control. It's a professional signal that says, I'm dependable. And people constantly track who's reliable and who isn't. Whether you realize it or not, your punctuality or lack thereof is always being noticed, even if no one says anything. If you're consistently early, you build trust. If you're frequently late, even by a small margin, you create doubt. These small interactions build into powerful reputations over time. People who are chronically late might be brilliant, but they're often overlooked for opportunities that rely on dependability. Meanwhile, those who are consistently punctual tend to build stronger professional relationships. I've seen this play out countless times. The CEO who enjoys the power play of a late entrance then complains that no one respects deadlines around here. The client who feels valued because you never keep them waiting and so recommends your company to their business partners, which lands you a lucrative contract down the line. Here's something to keep in mind. Being on time is actually being late. Let's consider in-person meetings. If a meeting starts at 10, and you walk into the room at 10, you're already behind. You need time to get settled, greet people, review notes, and ensure everything is in place. Being early gives you that buffer, and people notice even if they don't mention it. The same principle applies for online meetings. Joining a call at the exact start time leaves no room for tech issues or connection problems. If you're scrambling to fix something after the meeting has begun, you come across as unprepared. And it's not just meetings. The same idea applies to projects, deadlines, and commitments. If you're submitting work exactly when it's due, you leave no room for error. No buffer for last-minute tweaks or unexpected issues, no quality checks. It signals that you are either rushing or not in control of your schedule. I've learned this lesson the hard way. Earlier in my career, I was working on an important deliverable for a client. I cut it close, but I submitted it on time. The client then proceeded to share my report with their senior leadership, who in no gracious way pointed out that the projections I had provided were nonsense. In my rush to finalize everything, I missed the fact that I had accidentally used the previous year's data, completely skewing the forecast. Had I finished even a day earlier and done a proper review, I would have caught this myself. Instead, I had to repair the report, my credibility, and my relationship with the client after making them look bad in front of their company executives. Keep in mind that if something is a team effort, team dynamics make delivering right at the deadline far riskier than solo work. You've got interdependent tasks, delays in communication, misaligned expectations, all of that. So when you deliver things early, even by a small margin, not only do you eliminate unnecessary risk, but you also build a good reputation. So that's two things for the price of one. You need to shift your mindset if you want to truly master punctuality. Make it non-negotiable. Once you decide that, how do you then actually do it? First, treat your calendar as inviolable, sacrosanct. Start times and deadlines aren't suggestions, they're commitments. The moment you start thinking of them as flexible, you're already making excuses. If something is set for 2 o'clock, that means you are ready at 2, not getting ready. Second, always expect the unexpected, so plan for it. For in-person meetings, we tend to always factor in travel time, but what about parking or building sign-ins? You might have to locate the person you're meeting with or the room you're meeting in if you're not ushered there by someone else. And other things. Even in virtual meetings, assume there will be tech issues. Something always comes up. Giving yourself extra time might feel wasteful, but when that delay happens, you'll be glad you did. As for deadlines, aim to finish ahead of time and make early delivery a habit. Not only does it give you breathing room, but it also shows that you're in control of your workload and not chasing your deadlines. Here's a practical tip I always follow. Whenever something gets scheduled in your calendar, whether you manage your calendar yourself or someone else does it for you, just bake in some buffer time automatically. For example, block 45 minutes for a 30-minute journey or schedule an extra 10 minutes before the start of every meeting. This single, simple adjustment will transform your timeliness. I guarantee it. Let's wrap up what we've covered. We discussed why punctuality matters beyond just showing up on time, that it's about commitment, reliability, and respect. We explored the hidden costs of chronic lateness and how it negatively affects your professional reputation, and established that being on time is actually late. Being truly on time requires you to be early. The 3 things you need to do to master punctuality are: first of all, remember that punctuality isn't just about meetings, it applies to all commitments, deliverables, and responses. Secondly, your calendar is sacrosanct. Start times and deadlines are firm commitments, not suggestions. And third, always build in buffer time and include that in your calendar. At the end of the day, punctuality isn't about being rigid with time just for the sake of it. It's about respect for yourself and for others, which is what being professional is all about. It's one of the lowest effort, highest return professional habits you can develop. So if you want a straightforward way to stand out as a leader, commit to being early and watch how much more in control you become. Being punctual won't break your calendar, but it will breed success. If you want more actionable advice for balancing personal growth with business success, click on the playlist link down in the description and consider subscribing to this channel. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.